Peace, Infinite Waters, diving deep once again. 10 signs you're becoming your greatest version. Can I get a hello there? So I always talk about becoming your greatest version. And where does that come from? I'm in the lecture room. They're talking about this great psychologist called Carl Rogers, and he talked about the fully functioning human being. He never referred to people he was counseling as patients. He referred to them as clients because he saw that if he saw everyone with unconditional positive regard, it would help them grow as a human being. And some of the characteristics of the fully functioning human being was someone being open to experience, creativity, trusting your feelings, the fulfilled life, self-actualization, existential living. And this was so empowering for me. At the time, I just took it for granted. Now I'm talking about the very thing which was really not that interesting at the time, because why? I wasn't in the process of becoming my greatest version. Oh, how the tables turn. So, some of the signs I've seen along my journey, it starts with your vision becomes clearer. Now, becoming your greatest version is similar to a spiritual awakening, a paradigm shift. I remember when my vision was blurry. I thought I was always going to be in the same position, in a box. I couldn't see the horizon. And when people write to me telling me they're depressed, they're anxious, this is a sign that you are in the cocoon. You are going through the metamorphosis. It happened to me along my journey. I was miserable with my life. Why? Because I didn't know what my purpose was, what my calling was, what my mission was. And the moment I connected with that, it was over. All I had to say was peace. And everything made sense. The rest is history. So once your vision becomes clearer, you are well on your way to self-actualization, whatever rocks your boat. The second sign for me was just reconnecting back to nature. For so long, I was under these fluorescent light bulbs, absorbing all of this radiation around us. And I didn't like just being in a room. I wanted to be out in nature. I wanted to breathe in that prana. And I just found myself gravitating more towards more organic environments. And that helped me become my greatest version. That was a big sign. People were like, do you want to come inside? I'm like, no. I want to go and hug a tree. I want to swim in the ocean. Things like that. But it's not just about reconnecting back to nature. It's about being in any environment that allows you to feel more powerful. That's the sign you are becoming your greatest version. Number 3 for me was I was becoming more open to new possibilities. Along my early journey, I was closing my ears. I didn't want to hear anything. But going through the process of self-actualization, becoming my greatest version, I was delving into books on the top shelf. I was reading more. I was becoming more open to new information. In essence, I was diving deeper and deeper and deeper. What happened? I began to question everything. Authority. What I was watching on the TV. I used to love just sitting down in front of the TV. But in becoming my greatest version, I had to ask critical questions. I had to ask myself, how is this serving me right now? We all love to have a good laugh, especially me. But at the same time, there are so many distractions. And being open to new possibilities shows us that we don't have one option. We have infinite options, meaning we have infinite possibilities lying in our hands. The 4th sign was I'm in front of a mirror and I'm not judging myself as much as I used to. I'm now beginning to accept myself, and because of that, my confidence and my self-esteem increases. But more so, I'm not judging other people as much as I used to. Because once you stop judging yourself, the need to judge other people disappears because you aren't in competition with them. You see, separation is the greatest illusion. So, what happened when I stopped judging myself? Immediately, it meant that I could fly. I could let go of these barriers I had created within my mind. You see, because whenever we judge ourselves, what happens? We become more fearful of ourselves. But wait a minute, where are we gonna live? If you don't embrace yourself, what's gonna happen? You are gonna abandon yourself. So, in becoming your greatest version, you're not afraid of being with yourself. Human being. And because of that, your strength increases. I've come a long way. You've come a long way. All because you don't mind about looking at yourself in the mirror. Hooray. The 5th sign is that the barbecue sauce, the sodas, the popcorn, we all enjoyed that at one point. But whenever we are having a shift in awareness and becoming our greatest versions, we start to realize that we need energy to have this new frame of mind, this whole new feeling inside. We need the most optimum fuel. You don't put milk in a Ferrari. Who does that? So I started to really get into more superfoods, hemp seeds, chia seeds, and just luckily my partner was also into that. So we were always sharing recipes. I was going to different places to eat out, because that's what happens when you are becoming your greatest version. You put health at the forefront, and that starts with the foods you're putting into your mouth. The sixth sign for me was that I had been in a lot of relationships previously, and I said to myself, I need deeper, intimate connections, because for so long, a lot of my relationships were shallow. They were just based on someone's appearance. When you are becoming your greatest version, I've seen that the appearance does matter, but at the same time, that is not the only thing. You want to know more about this person. You want to feel them on a heart level, not just on a mind level. But the real secret is that you don't have time for small talk, meaningless conversations. Why? Because you see that there are already so many distractions. And the whole push for conscious relationships is that you see that your partner and yourself can evolve together. And that is the greatest thing, because when I was less evolved, it was all about what I could get. When you're becoming your greatest version, you're living in more abundance. So you're also thinking about what you can give. And number 7 is your thoughts. And words have power. You begin to realize that you are an architect of your own reality. That means that what people say about you is coming from their subjective reality, not yours. And how you perceive yourself is the greatest thing, the only thing that matters. So you have this gigantic reservoir of energy. Once you start tapping into it, you become unstoppable. Why? Because through your thoughts, you realize it's all BS, belief systems. Oh yeah, we're diving deep. You start to realize when you're becoming your greatest version that what you say about yourself matters. Because words are vibrations which materialize into physical form. So in essence, word is bond. Therefore, that means you can use words that empower you. You can use thoughts that empower you to help you manifest the lifestyle you want. That's what I've done. A long time ago, I was always saying, I can't do it. I can't do it. It's never going to happen to me. Now it's like, of course it can happen. I did it once, I'll do it again. Another sign, number 8, is you have this resilience. Oh yes. And the resilience is what I call the never giving up mindset. Because you realize in becoming your greatest version, it is not easy to be a human being. Look, we go through so much as human beings. Every day, someone is rushing around in front of you. There's a lot to deal with. Your job, your relationship, family and friends, body image issues, money problems. Okay, you get the picture. So, we don't live in a perfect world. We live in a perfect earth. So that means there are going to be some surprises along the way. I've had my fair share of ups and downs. And in becoming your greatest version, the sign is that you begin to see this resilience emanating deep from your core. That you realize everything may not go to plan, but you have the tools to deal with whatever life sends your way. And you don't have to deal with it alone, because you realize a support network all around you. When you are becoming your greatest version, you have the audacity, the confidence to ask for help. And it's not a sign of weakness. In essence, it's a sign of your true strength. And number 9, you become fearless. You start to be bold, brave, take risks which were once impossible. Why? Because you're realizing all you have is now. Being in Venice, skating every day, it's amazing just to see the skaters just leap into the bowl and carve around. They are in the process of becoming their greatest versions because they are doing something which is empowering them. They are letting go of fear. Because it's so easy to give up. It's so easy just to say, well, who cares what I do? My dreams, my passions, who really cares? But in taking risks, it's about keeping alive the inner child. So Peter Pan, don't grow up. It's a trap. Stay young forever. Meaning, place value on what really matters. And that's what's helped me along my journey. And that is a sign. Every day, I am in the process of becoming my greatest version. And lastly, it is the contribution. Some people say, now I just want to help the whole world. But before you can do that, you start to realize you are the world. How can you help the world without helping yourself first? So when I was having this vision of sharing with the world, I said, okay, buy a camera, start talking. But to have it all, you have to be it all. I couldn't talk about eating healthier foods because I hadn't dropped the junk food completely. But once I did, now I was a living example of what I was talking about. I'm not perfect, but I'm close. A lot of the times, the contribution is realizing that you can do something phenomenal. I talk with a lot of other YouTubers, and I always remind them that they are doing phenomenal work, because sometimes we don't appreciate what we are doing. We don't see the impact of what our message can do to create positive change within the world. But once you acknowledge this is a sign I've seen you are in the process of becoming your greatest version. And for me, I love to have a laugh. I don't take myself so seriously. That is why I can continue to create, because I'm having fun and it's coming from a genuine place. In becoming your greatest version, one of the greatest signs I've seen is not losing yourself in the crowd. Always finding your voice in the choir, which can be difficult when there are so many voices singing out of tune. So, there you have it. What are some of the signs you have experienced in this whole process, this whole shift which is happening? Become your greatest version. And just remind yourself that when I say become your greatest version, I'm not saying that you have to be anything other than what you are. For me, I see it as everything can be upgraded and updated. And that is why it is so empowering, because you realize, in essence, we are already born complete. All we have to do is surrender, and we are already there. So there you have it. Infinite waters, diving deep once again. Stay well, stay healthy. Peace.